Hey, good peoples. Welcome to another episode of Nadine Car Chronicles. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for all the love and support. I see you all in the comments. I see you all, the follow, and, it's just so encouraging. When God asks you to do something, you do it. You don't know what's on the other side until you start experiencing, just how much these car chronicles are inspiring people, are encouraging people, and are pointing people's heart. And that's the bottom line. Pointing your heart, not to me, pointing your heart to God's heart. That's the goal of this, so that you can learn and experience Him for yourself. That's the goal of these car chronicles, and your support on my sermons, my sermon clips, and all that stuff. Just a powerful, mighty thing when God can use just little things. God can use that. Today's car chronicles, I wanted to come on here and share this story. I'm going to share a personal experience, and then I'm going to give you Bible to support it, right? There's certain things that you won't know about God by just reading it. It's good that you read it because the Bible, the Word of God, is our firm foundation, right? That's what actually lets us know that God is our vindicator, that He's our strong tower, that He's our deliverer, that He's our redeemer. But we also got to experience the redemptive work of God in our lives. We also need to know that, not only read that He's our deliverer, but experience His delivering work in our lives, right? So there are certain things that you're not going to know personally about God without experiencing it for yourself. There are things that we go through in life and we think, oh, I'm going through this because the enemy's attacking me, or I'm going through this because I'm out of alignment, or, it's something went wrong is really why I'm going through this. And that's not always the case. It can be, but sometimes you're going through it is because God is guiding you. He's developing you. He's revealing Himself to you through the thing that you're going through. One of those things is God will remove our comforts. He will remove the things that we depend on. He will remove the things that we rely on. Why? Because they can be a source of idol in our lives. They can be a source of God in our lives. They can take His place in our lives. So God will begin to tinker with those things. Why? Because you're depending on that instead of the source. You're looking to that as your source instead of God as your source. I experienced this in my own personal life. When I first came out of prison, as y'all know, I didn't have much. I didn't have anything. I was trying to pay back the court system, and I was a single mom at the time, so I was trying to take care of my daughter, and it was tight. I'm living in Florida, and I'm living paycheck to paycheck, barely, and things were very difficult for me. But I've always been a self-reliant person. I've always been a self-sustainer. I've always been self-dependent. And that doesn't work in God's kingdom. Because then you become a God to yourself. Right? So God will teach you how to depend on Him, how to rely on Him, how to look to Him. Why? Because He's your source. And He always wants you to know, I am your source. I am your strength. I am your fortress. I am your strong tower. I am your deliverer. I am your redeemer. I am your healer. He wants you to know that He is the I am in your life. So He'll have allowed things to happen in your life, or even remove things from our lives, not so that we can hurt. No. He's not trying to hurt us. He's trying to draw us closer to Him. He's trying to draw us into fellowship and intimacy and a true relationship with Him. And He's trying to make sure that there's no debris in our lives that's robbing us from our true relationship, from true dependence, and from true reliance on Him. So one day I came home from work, me and my daughter, and there was nothing in the house to eat but cereal. And it was hardly any of that left. So I had my daughter eat it. I said, okay, you eat that tonight. I'm going to get on the phone and I'm going to call Grandpa, my stepdad, and I'm going to ask him to send me some money. Because I didn't have anything. There was literally nothing in the house to eat. So I went to pick up the phone to call my stepdad because he would wire me money in an instant. And I heard the Spirit of the Lord say, Nadine, don't you trust me? Don't you depend on me? Am I not trustworthy? And I said, yes, but there's nothing here. I don't have anything. And he said, try me, test me, Nadine, and see. See, you can't say you want to experience God and yet not experience God. In the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of it is an opportunity to experience God. I hung up the phone that night. I didn't call my stepdad, and the Lord said to me, fast. Tonight, fast. The next morning, got up, gave my daughter cereal again. Went to, she had lunch at school, went to work. And I'm like, I have nothing. I'm coming. What are we going to do? We just have cereal. She's going to eat cereal again tonight. I mean, what? But I'm walking in obedience because I'm big on obedience with the Lord. I'm walking in obedience. That night I got home. I told my daughter, we're going to, you're going to have cereal again. She was okay. She loves cereal. So I said, oh, you know what? Before we go upstairs in the apartment, let me check the mailbox. Guys, I checked the mailbox and there was a letter from the IRS. Now, I haven't worked in years. This is my first year out of prison. I was in prison for over 5 years. And before that, I hadn't worked for a couple years. So I haven't been in the workspace for some years. I opened the letter and there's a check in the mail for $2,300 from the IRS saying that it was a refund of a mistake that they made on a tax thing that I did many years ago. What? First of all, the IRS never says that they made a mistake. But for years, all these years, God is an on time. He will send you a ram in the thicket. I think sometimes we rob ourselves of the miracles because we look to other things. We get to other resources. And those, it's not that they're bad resources. They're just not the source. God is our ultimate source. He can do far greater than what my stepdad wasn't going to send me $2,300. God can do far greater than what man can do. He says the silver and the gold is his. The cattle on 1,000. Fret not, worry not. Look to him, rely on him, depend on him. He said, if you call upon the name of the Lord, he will answer. I'm thinking about Gideon in the book of Judges when God told him he was about to fight the Amalekites, and God told him to dwindle his 30,000 army down to 10,000, from 10,000 to 300. And Gideon is like, what? How are we going to fight these Amalekites down with? God says to him, you're going to defeat them, but it's not going to be by your strength. It's not going to be according to your power. It's not going to be according to your army, your military forces. No, I'm going to do it. And when I do it, the reason why you're down to 300, because I don't want you to think your hands have done this. Nadine, I don't want you to think that your stepfather is your resource, is your source. I don't want you to think that he's the God in your life, that he comes through. No, I'm God. I'm your source. I want you to learn how to depend on me, Nadine. I want you to learn how to what? Trust me. Trust me. Listen, that has been a lesson. My daughter she was about 8, 9 years old. My daughter still remembers that lesson to this very. What? God is an on-time God. He's able. Oh, yes, he is. He's our provider. He's our deliverer. He's our strength. He's our strong tower. I mean, whatever you need. And I know things get difficult and you're like, God, where are you? And God says, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And yes, things might look difficult, but there's always a ram in the thicket. Trust me and watch me do my best work. When you trust me for the miracle, all I need your obedience, and I'm going to need your trust. What is that? Faith? To believe that God can? Trust and faith works together. So I don't know who needs to hear this. But God is your deliverer. He's going to come through. Trust him. Depend on him. Call upon the name of the Lord. And he will answer.